何も怖くなんてないんだ This is a place to try そして僕らきっと辛いだってを決して離さないで明日へかける Let's sing loudly We are the one for the future
Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and you're watching my review for Naruto Chapter 698. Alright, and obviously news came out this week that we're getting 2 chapters next week, so we will actually make it to Chapter 700. And that last 700th chapter is going to be in full color, which I saw coming from a mile away. When the Tekio Hitman Reborn ended, they didn't give it the cover, but they gave it center color, and they gave it 3 color pages, which usually 3 color pages is saved for the series that has the cover and is in the front of the magazine. But Tekio Hitman Reborn ended in the center of the magazine, and they still gave it 3 pages anyway. So I figured, well, if they're giving 3 pages to Hitman Reborn, then imagine what they're going to do when Naruto ends. They'll probably give it a full color chapter, and sure enough, that's what happened. Alright. But as for this chapter, the first half of the chapter doesn't really need any explanation or anything like that. No analysis either. The fight ended. Alright, and there was a cool spot where Naruto and Sasuke did their little signature spot. Because this is like the signature spot of the whole Naruto-Sasuke feud. It's the Rasengan and the Chidori colliding. That's like the signature spot. I don't know how else to describe it other than spot. Like the signature collision, signature move. Like I don't know. It's a signature spot for this feud between the two of them. All right, and we see that, and it looked cool. All right. The rest of the chapter is Sasuke just pretty much saying stuff we already know. It's just that this is the first time he's actually said it this clearly, where it can't be misunderstood. Alright, because he talked about how Naruto's weakness was seeping into him because of how close the two of them were getting. Alright, but that's something you could have figured out with observation. Alright, because remember in part 1, right, Sasuke said to Naruto the first time they fought actually that they were like brothers almost. He said to Sasuke, or he said to Naruto that the strongest bond he had was with Naruto, right? And that he had to that in order to complete his goal, in order to get strong enough to kill Itachi and avenge his clan, he needed to destroy that bond. Okay, so we've seen him talk about this already. It's just that now he's saying it more clearly, where there's no analysis needed, there's no observation needed. He's telling you to your face that that's how it was, right? And it was said with more detail too, more detail, right? But in this second half of the chapter, we essentially get Sasuke accepting Naruto. All right. Some people would say that he turned good, but I'd say he was never evil in the first place, so he couldn't have turned good because he was never bad. All right. Like Sasuke's been an anti-hero the entire time. You can always make the argument that the ends justify the means when it comes to Sasuke. He was never truly evil. He never did anything because of some type of evil reason. He always did it because he wanted to avenge his clan, or he wanted to restore his clan. It was always because of that. And he said, these people caused this massacre of my clan, so they will pay for it. And that's that. Everything he's done has been to either restore his clan or to avenge it. So, I mean, he was never really truly evil. The worst thing he did was get Danzo killed. But, I mean, Danzo wasn't exactly the best person in the world either. Like, he wasn't really an angel. Most people would argue that the world is a better place without Danzo. I mean, don't get me wrong. He still killed the guy. I mean, some people will argue that Sasuke didn't actually kill him and that Danzo committed suicide. I say that Danzo, as that tetragram seal went off, he said that it was set to go off as soon as his heart stopped. So for it to have gone off means that his heart must have stopped, and if his heart stopped, that was because of Sasuke. So technically, I would argue that Sasuke did actually kill Danzo, but not a big deal. Alright. Point is that Sasuke was never truly evil. So it doesn't make sense to say that he turned good, because he's still the same person he was before. It's just that rather than he has accepted the fact that his clan has been avenged. That's the thing. Before he originally wanted to kill Itachi and thought that would be enough to avenge the clan, but then he learned the truth of what happened and he realized, well, no, that's not enough, because Itachi wasn't the one behind it. It was these guys. So these guys have to pay. So first he got the Danzo, and then he was going to go destroy the Leaf Village, because that would be poetic justice, would it not? My entire clan was destroyed, so I'll destroy your entire village. You know, it's poetic justice, especially since it's impossible for the entire Uchiha clan to have been involved in that coup. Alright, so you had innocent people in there that were still killed. Alright? And some people might argue, well, you don't know that the whole clan wasn't involved, but I mean, it's common sense, really. Alright? Like, unless you're trying to argue that children and babies and infants and toddlers were sitting there in the meetings trying to plot ways to kill people and take over the village, that it's pretty clear, using common sense, that the entire Uchiha clan was not involved. Unless you want to make the argument that Sasuke was the only child in the entire Uchiha clan. But if you're going to make that argument, you would require proof of some sort, which you don't have. Alright, so using common sense, it's safe to say that the entire Uchiha clan was not involved in planning that coup. Yet the entire Uchiha clan was slaughtered except for Sasuke, so there were innocent people in there. So you can easily say, well, my entire clan, including innocent people, were killed because of this goal. Well, how about I kill the entire village, no matter how many innocent people are there? You know, so you can easily argue that that's poetic justice, and that does serve his revenge. However, he was convinced by Itachi that revenge was that he had already accomplished his revenge, that the clan had been avenged. Okay, so then he decided to move on and figure out, well, what do I do now? Right, that's why he went to Hashirama and all that stuff. So Sasuke never actually turned good, because he was never really bad in the first place. He has views of the world. He has a different opinion, and that he does what he wants. He does what he thinks he needs to do in order to accomplish whatever goals he has. So he was never truly evil. It's just a matter of, it's just a matter of what his goals were at the time. Which, I mean, I guess you could easily twist that around and say, well, evil people have goals too. But the point is that Sasuke was never truly evil. All right, but whatever. The last page we got in this chapter was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I like the symbolism there. Because in Japan they do this thing where even if you aren't related by blood, you can still consider yourself like a brother of someone else if you've gone through certain experiences together. Like in One Piece, Luffy, Ace, and Sabo aren't actually brothers. They're not related by blood, but they still consider themselves brothers because of the things that they've been through together and how close they got. So, oh no, never mind. Never mind. It's never mind. Whatever. It's the point is that the last page was cool. That's the point. The point is that the last page was cool. Okay. Yeah, that's that. I'll give this chapter a 7 out of 10. I thought it was cool. Not the best chapter ever, but it certainly wasn't a bad one. Then yeah, 7 out of 10. Next week's the finale, so look forward to that. It'll be weird. It'll be weird not having Naruto come out on Wednesdays or Thursdays anymore. Well, except for Shippuden. It'll be weird, but oh man, it's that'll be weird. What, like 15? How long has it been? 15 years? It's got serialized in like 1999. So yeah, it's 15 years. Wow. Oh, it's gonna be weird, but we'll get through it somehow. We'll get through it somehow. But yeah, like I said, chapter gets a 7 out of 10. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.